So were you conscripted or did you sign up?
No, I joined up.
You joined up?
Yeah,
And what age were you, Herb?
18.
What was the impetus for you to join up? Why did you do it?
To me it was a lot of excitement, I think.
Yeah, well, I was in the post office one day and I looked up and I saw this sign, you know, they wanted girls to join up. And I came home and I said to my sister, I'm going to join the WWII. That was the Air Force at the time.
Yes.
And she said, I'll come too.
Yep.
And I know that I wouldn't have been allowed to go. I wouldn't have been allowed to go if she hadn't been with me.
Yep.
But they took us down, and everywhere we went together.
Yes.
They put it in the bed beside me. All the different places.
That's good. That's
yes,
really
yeah,
good.
they were wonderful to me.
Now we can get on to the really juicy story of your war experience, and that is how you chaps met.
Now, before I joined up, I'd had a birthmark removed from my ear with radium.
Right.
And the radium had been left on too long, I found out. And when I was at Narromine, ready to start flying, that ear gave me trouble, and I went on sick parade.
Right.
And on sick parade, Marie was there. She'd had something done to her toe. I think it was due to badly fitting Air Force shoes. Yeah, we met on
So
sick.
you're both in sick parade.
Yeah, and we met several times there, and I plucked up courage to ask her if she'd like to go out with me. Now, Marie was 18, and Joyce
Marie was 20.
I'm sorry, 20. I was 18.
You were 18, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Marie was 20, and her sister was 22. And Marie's reply to me, when I asked her would she come out with me, was, I'll have to ask my sister first, and if she says okay,
Well, they were doing everything
then
together.
yes, I would. But they had promised their mother to look after each other,
Yeah.
which they did. But nobody today at that age, no,
I don't think
would
so.
ask those sort of questions. Anyhow, she did come out with me. We probably went to the pictures or had a meal in town. And to walk from Narromine Air Force Base to town, we had to walk across a cow paddock with an old dilapidated barbed wire fence. And on our way back to camp, getting over the barbed wire fence was where we had our first kiss.
Oh.
Oh, God.
And I can tell by the light in your eyes you both remember it.
Oh, yeah, we both remember that.
Now, so that was the beginning. But it didn't really go according to a love story plan
No,
initially.
no.
What happened?
Well, when Marie was transferred to Bundaberg, I must have been in Western Australia.
Yeah.
And I wrote and told her, when you're in Queensland, if you get a chance, go to Ipswich, which was my hometown, and meet Mum and Dad, which she did. And she thought the Bells had a different lifestyle from the Cleels in Warrielda.
Because our house was burnt down when we were kids, and we never got the things back that we should have had. That's what it boiled down to. We only had the
lost
things.
everything.
Yes, and we only had what we needed.
Yes.
So she wrote and told me we lived in different worlds. Might be okay while we're in uniform, but in civilian life it probably would be different. So she wrote and told me she was going to marry a man from her own hometown, which I think she was expected to do in those days.
Yeah, sure.
Marry the boy over the back fence. So I wrote and said, okay, you go ahead and do that, and I'll marry an Ipswich girl. But I didn't have an Ipswich girl, but I found one whose name was Parker, and that was the name of the boy over the back fence.
No, are you serious? I didn't know
Yeah,
that part of the story.
yeah.
So, did you marry
The
Mr. Parker?
Yeah,
Yes.
and I married
And
a
you
Parker.
married a Parker. How did you find her? And what
Well,
was the circumstances
well,
that made you?
I felt that my first marriage was you know, coming to an end. And I went to the post office and got a telephone directory for Marie's hometown and looked up Marie's maiden name,
Yes.
which was
Cleo.
Cleo,
Yes.
and went down the whole list of Cleo, there were about 20 of them. And
In that area.
Yeah,
Mm.
and I picked on this Cleo here and wrote to that lady who turned out to be Marie's favourite aunt and told her I was looking for Marie Cleo,
Mm-hmm.
and she passed my letter on to Marie.
Was it just a basic introduction, hello, it's Herb here, and I remember our time together, I would really like to meet up with you, or was it a bit more
No,
pointed than
a
that?
bit more sneaky than that. I just wrote and sort of just said I was just looking for you and like to renew old friendships and talk about the past and that sort of thing. And when Marie's letter came to me, I couldn't read her address up on the top.
Oh,
It was
no.
a bit untidy, and she signed off Love Marie. So I didn't know where she lived, and I still didn't know what her surname was. But in the letter to me, she said that living near me at Burley Waters was a friend of hers. And I went round, knocked on the door, and the lady answered, and I told her that I was there because I knew a friend of hers, and she had just at that time I was knocking on the door been writing to Marie, and I said, will you tell her in the letter that I'd been round to find her address and her surname.
So it was via letters
Yes.
that you then found out about each other
Yeah.
and what had happened in the, how many years had it been
Or
since you'd seen
over
it?
44 or something like that. But
44
Marie
years.
used to come up from Sydney to Tweed Heads on holidays,
Yep,
almost annually.
yep.
And she used to do the same here. She used to go to the post office and look up telephone directories,
Is that right, Marie?
but never ever found me. After we made contact by mail, Marie came up for another holiday.
And that's when we
And then she
decided,
came round home and met me and met my wife. And, oh, we all got on well together. Didn't we?
yes, we did, love, yeah.
Looking back on those 44 years when you weren't together, do you think there's a good reason for that? You know, did you learn things about yourselves by being with other people, or is it that you now value what you do have now after waiting all that time a bit more than maybe some other people take for granted?
For me, I realised that I could look after myself,
Right.
just like that.
Mhm.
Didn't need anybody to buy something for me. I could, if I wanted it, I could work for it.
Mm. Mm.
That's
Yeah.
how I managed.
Independence.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm still like that, aren't I?
But I don't think I've changed.
No, I don't think you
I
have.
think
either.
I've always been the same, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, you haven't changed as far as I can see.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, the initial attraction was there.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
there. Still there.
And still
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, yeah, we do everything together. We go to bed
What
at the
about-
same time,
Yeah.
get up the same time.
Yeah.
He stands one side of the bed and I stand the other and make the bed.
I do the housework. Murray does the garden. Thank goodness. How old? 89.
Bravo. Bravo.
Still young.
Yes, you're the younger
Oh,
man.
I've never caught up.
Only what you catch up when you're chasing her around the house, hey?
No, we don't have to chase you around there.
Oh.
I'm a faster runner.